So good morning and welcome to Savannah Community Headlines Live. Today we actually have a pop-up water cooler, and I'm your host, Marjorie Young, and I'm here to welcome Becky Brownlee with the Small Business Development Center and Patton Dugas with Truist Bank. He is the president of the market here area. You guys have some really good news, and I really wanted to make sure that the small business owners learned about the Truist Entrepreneurship Academy. So tell me about this. Every small business owner needs to hear this. This is because it's free. Is that right?
Well, I'll just give you a little bit of information about the program itself, and then I'll let Patton tell you how Truist is involved and why. So this program is designed for existing small business owners. The ideal candidate will have been in business at least 3 years, have at least 3 employees, and revenues around $500,000. Now we are reviewing every application individually, so I can't say that that's a hard and fast criteria. But we do need business owners to have some experience under their belt because these are going to be some higher level conversations. So it is a cumulative 3-year program, but we'll have 2 cohorts of 20. So there'll be 40 businesses that can actually go through the program, and they'll be in those 2 cohorts of 20. So in January of 2022, we'll start with the first cohort of 20 businesses, and then they will go for years 22 and 23. And in January of 23, it's going to get real fun because we're going to start the second cohort of 20 people. So in 2023, we're going to have cohort 1 doing their second year, cohort 2 doing their first year. So this is going to be a crazy year for us, but we're super excited about it. But the intent of the program.
No, that's excellent. I mean, that's a good setup. Yeah. What's the intent of the program?
So the intent of the program was to create something that incorporated leadership, but also had a business practicum side. So what we found in the marketplace, I mean, there's some wonderful programs, Leadership Georgia, Leadership Savannah, all of these leadership programs, and they're great. But for our small business owners, I mean, we want them to further their leadership skills, and we want them to make bigger impact into the community. But in order to do that, they also have to have healthy businesses, and we want to put them in positions to grow. So it's interesting because it's really got a 2-part focus on leadership and on business practicum to make sure that they are growing and contributing economic impact to the community. So we're really excited. And one part of the program is where each person will own part of the program. Each person will be put in a leadership position. And
Smart.
They'll be facilitating, creating activities. They'll be leading discussions. And so I'm just super excited. I cannot wait to see what we get out of this program.
So it starts pretty soon. I mean, it looks like January. So you're now reaching out to the small business community, asking for nominations. It's not a guarantee you're going to get in, right?
That's right. We have currently, we're accepting applications, and we have already had some businesses get accepted to the program, but there are still spots. So people should go ahead and don't waste your time. Don't waste any time. Go ahead and apply because the applications are rolling in. Go ahead.
How long are the applications?
The applications are not too long. They're asking some basic information, sales, number of employees, what they think projected growth would be, what their drivers are. And then we want to know a little bit about the owners. What do they think their strengths and their weaknesses are? None of that is to be used for you or against you. We just want to see, how people think that they're doing and specific areas that they need assistance in.
Excellent. And let's see if we can get Patton on here. Looks like, let's see. Patton, we can't see you. Maybe exit the studio and come back in. Anyhow. So with the application form, how many how many do you suspect that you'll get? I mean, so you can actually create the class. How many are you hoping to get?
I would hope that we would get at least twice the number of spots, so just so that we have a good applicant pool. But the good news is for people that, if we get 70 applications and, this go around 30 would be, appropriate for the program, they can always be put into cohort 2. So, in the event we don't have a spot for them in 2023, we can go ahead and reserve their space for, if we don't have a spot for them in 2022, we can put them in the 2023 start.
Excellent. So what kind of classes will you be teaching? And first of all, let me back up. For folks watching, the Small Business Development Center, Becky, tell us about this, because for years, I love to refer the Sbdc to small business owners and SCORE, because it is really valuable services that the small business owners need to know. I mean, when you get mentored, you're going to do better in business. So this is like the ultimate mentorship with this new academy. So tell us about the Sbdc.
So the Sbdc is part of the University of Georgia, and we're considered public service and outreach. And so for the general public, really all you need to know is that we offer no-cost consulting services, aka mentoring. That's what SCORE calls it, mentoring. We call it consulting services. So we offer those similar to SCORE at no cost. And then we also do continuing education. We're faculty members at the University of Georgia, and therefore we teach. That's a big part of what we do. So our CE programs are not necessarily free. In fact, they're rarely free, but they are reasonable. And that leads me into a good segue to tell you about this $42,000 grant that we have gotten from Truist, and how that's made it possible for these folks to attend. And I think Patton can explain why they chose to do this.
Yeah, thanks, Becky, and thank you for everything that you guys are doing. And Marjorie, thanks for the time this morning. I am thrilled about this program. Becky and I have known each other for a long time, and for several years now, we've been working together on smaller, shorter education programs for entrepreneurs. More of a sort of scratching the surface, business 101 type of class. And I've enjoyed participating in those and helping people understand how to achieve their financial goals. But this was an opportunity, and we really sort of challenged Becky and collaborated to come up with a way to be a little bit more impactful and try to grow a program that would really allow, as she mentioned, cohorts of students and entrepreneurs to work together for a period of time. So I like to say it's not a one and done. It's a real program for a period of 2 years, and we're really hopeful that it will lead to some really impactful change for these companies. When you get down to it, our purpose as an organization is to inspire and build better lives and communities. And in that context, we win when our clients win. So this is a way for us to really try to build on that success, and we're just really privileged to be part of it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank Truist for doing this, because it is so important for the small business owner to have this kind of training, and then to have the Sbdc deliver it. It really feels like a win-win situation. I know 27 years, a long time ago, my very first stop was Sbdc, and Lynn Voss was my mentor back then. And it makes a difference. I mean, you all have the tools and the answers to the millions of questions as small business owners have about how to do things. So how did you decide on what classes would be taught?
Well, so what we did was, we in general, we spend thousands of hours consulting with businesses. So we can tell you the top 3 or 4 issues right off the bat. But we kind of broke the businesses down based on a couple of categories.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an operations component, there's a marketing component, a financial component, and then HR component. So those are the four aspects that we're going to be delving into with the businesses.
It's like getting a master's degree.
Yeah, it's a little mini MBA.
It's like a mini MBA. Absolutely. It's all the focused focused classes that we need to know. So
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Those are the four critical areas and drivers of any good business. And, if any one of those is not going like it should, you're going to see problems. So we want to make sure, we want to help these businesses grow. We expect them to grow their business, and we expect them to grow as a leader. We expect them to serve and give back to their community in a number of different ways. And the other cool thing is, like Patton said, having this group of people together for 2 years, 20 people together for 2 years. We tell people, oh, you need your own little advisory board. Well, how the heck do you do that as a small business? Now you've got a 20 or 19 group advisory board. These folks are going to get very close, and they're going to be able to depend on each other and call on each other even once the program is over.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how powerful word of mouth is. So when you form this advisory group, they will also be your eyes and ears in the community, in the business community, and they will be your, eyes and ears for you. So if you get that close, it's a forever bond. It's powerful. It's very powerful. So what would be the ideal small business owner that applies for this?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, ideal, and once again, we're reviewing each application individually. So everybody's, may meet or not meet this criteria on one or, so levels. But ideally, we would like for somebody to have been in business for 3 years, because they're going to have enough experience to have conversations. And,
Right.
we don't want people to not have basic business experience, because they'll kind of be left behind on some of these higher level conversations. So I think, 3 years ish is kind of where we think that would be a good point. We need them to have some employees. Mm-hmm. So, at least 3 to 5 employees, because if they haven't had employees, then they're not facing the same challenges with HR and, the labor issues and that type of thing. And so they really won't benefit from those conversations. And then we would also like them to have sales exceeding 350, preferably, $500,000 or above.
So one of the goals with Sbdc is really to help the economy and increase the tax base, and so we all have a better life. Small business is the backbone of our country, and it's really commendable with what you're doing, because it feels like it's going to be more one-on-one help, which we need. So how often are you going to be meeting, and is it monthly? Is it weekly?
We are going to be meeting the second Tuesday of every month for 24 months.
Wow. Is it a whole day, or is it a half day?
No. So there'll be, and one of the really cool things that we've done through UGA is we're having them create a dedicated attendee learning portal. So there'll be all kinds of resources up there for them. We'll be throwing in, articles and videos and things that we come across for them to review. So the first meeting, there's 8 modules. And so we'll do 4 in year 1. So it's 1 module a quarter. So the first meeting of that module will be instructional. So we're going to be delivering some content. We're going to be doing some teaching. That's what we do. And then they'll have some follow-up things that they need to do before the next class. And then the next class is going to be faculty facilitated discussion. So once again, we're going to be involved. will be, leading the discussions, but, group participation. And so the first meeting is about 3 hours. The second one is about an hour and a half. I mean, we're going to be a little flexible on these times. If this group is excited and they're raring to go and we want to go another 30 or 40 minutes, we're not going to cut them off. But we do want to be sensitive to people's time because we know that this group is busy.
Especially, yes.
So, but what I'm most excited about is the third session. And so the third session is where some of the business owners, they will be paired, they're going to own that session. And so part of that session, we're going to be more focused on leadership because we'll be reading leadership books as we go along. So,
good. I'm going to interrupt you. Do you know off the top of your head what books they are?
So we're in review for year 2, but the first book that we're starting off with is The Leader Within.
Excellent.
And if nobody's ever heard of it, it's a great book to read. You may have heard of Ken Blanchard. He's one of the co-authors. He's very well known,
right.
Him and Hershey, for situational leadership. And so anyway, it's a great book. It's kind of self-assessment, self-awareness, and assessing others, and then how do we make that work? So anyway, but in the third session, they have leeway. They own that session. They can do whatever they want. They can make us take a field trip. They can make us do crazy activities. They can, whatever they want to do, they own it. As long as it's, leadership discussion related,
right.
And as long as, we're covering the assigned chapters of the book.
Excellent. So how do people sign up for this?
Okay, so there is a link for them there it is. That's the link. And if that's difficult, folks, I tell you, you can just go to Georgia Sbdc. You can Google it. You'll get right to our website. Pick Savannah on the location, and you can scroll down and find it as one of our classes being offered. And I do just want to say that I don't want people to get discouraged if they think, oh my gosh, I really want to participate in that program. It's so wonderful, but I just don't meet that criteria. We have other programs that are tailored for people that don't meet that criteria. And those programs can help get you to the next level where you could participate in a program like that. So we've got a class starting in February, I believe. It's going to be a busy year next year. It's called Start Smart. And so that is for people that have been in business less than 2 years. And, maybe don't have that level of sales, and maybe they're just the only, owner or no employees, or only have 1 or 2 employees. So there are other programs out there that are very, very good that will give you similar information, different level of conversation. We kind of match it to the position of the business. But, I don't want you to be sad if you heard all this and you're so excited and you say, oh, I just won't qualify. We have something else for you.
So to recap, it is a Entrepreneurship Academy sponsored by Truist. The Small Business Development Center will be delivering the teachables, the modules to help the small business owners. It's free if you get in. You must apply. You're looking for 20 this year and 20 the following year. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else the small business owner needs to know?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Patton, seriously, thank you and Truist for doing this for the small business community. This is really going to be wonderful. Really,
yeah, it's more than a pleasure, and we appreciate the opportunity. I'm not a guy who's going to cure a disease or stop a war, but I think about my business is economic development, and whatever we can do to try to improve the economic conditions in the town where we live, that's how I make life better for my kids. So I applaud both of you for what you're doing around small businesses, and we're just glad we can play a part.
Boy, y'all have a big year, especially with hopefully the pandemic ending and a lot of businesses rebooting, getting, back up to speed again. What a awesome opportunity. So with that, if you're a small business owner watching, reach out to Sbdc, the University of Georgia Small Business Development Center, or Truist, and they can get you lined up. They can walk you through the application part. So with that, thank you very much. And we will see you next time on the water cooler. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Marjorie.
Thanks.